Welcome to Trigger Point Tuesday. I'm Kyle Stull, Senior Master Trainer and Manager of Research and Program Design. In this video, we're going to be addressing the foot. Now, the foot is a highly mobile area. We have 26 bones in the foot and more than 100 muscles that somehow influence or attach to the foot. The foot also, because of that mobility in those muscles, can be subject to a lot of different dysfunctions. One of the most common is plantar fasciitis. Now, plantar fasciitis is a basic overuse injury. It comes from the plantar fascia that runs the bottom of the foot here. It comes from it becoming inflamed. That's where we get the term itis. Now, why does it become inflamed? Oftentimes the muscles, the intrinsic muscles here on the bottom of the foot are weak. That allows that tissue to be overstretched, or it could come from somewhere up the chain. The glutes, the gluteus medius, for example, that plays a big role in that side-to-side motion of the foot. If the glutes are weak, again, that overstresses that plantar fascia. Now, another problem we may have, and I'm just going to mention it briefly and you can go research it. Dr. Lamont did research on 50 of his toughest patients several years ago, and he coined a term called plantar fasciosis. Now, what he found, because of toe extension and a toe box, pulling the muscles here on the inside, this abductor hallucis, pulling it taut, and that actually pinched off an artery there, and it decreased blood flow to those muscles. So just do a little bit of research there on plantar fasciosis and see which one you think applies to you. Above all, if you have significant foot pain, go talk to a doctor about it. What we're going to do today, we're going to use the Nano foot roller, or you can use a grid roller. This is going to be great for just general foot soreness, general foot tenderness, or just tired and achy feet. We're going to divide the foot up into 3 zones. Zone 1 essentially is going to be the center of the foot. We're going to start from where those toes bend up, and then we're going to roll up to the front of the heel bone, or the calcaneus. We have a little nerve that pokes its head out right down here, so we don't want to put a lot of pressure directly on the heel bone, so we're going to roll there in the center of the foot. Zone 1 will be here. When we move to zone 2, we're going to internally rotate the foot to get that medial arch, and then zone 3, we're going to externally rotate to get that medial arch. Let's grab your roller and get started. So I'm going to place the Nano foot roller here on a flat surface. I'm then going to put my foot directly on top. Zone 1, my knee is in line with that second and third toe. Really try to relax the toes over top. If you like extra pressure, you can lean into it here and increase that compression, or you can take pressure off of it and stand back. Now, as we identify the length of that zone, we're not going to do a big rolling motion. We're going to do a nice slow rolling motion forward, about 1 inch per second, really just addressing those bones of the midfoot. Our program is going to start with 4 rolling motions and then some toe extensions. But first, just see if you find a tender spot in there. And if you do, just stop, breathe, and hold pressure for 20 to 30 seconds or until that tenderness reduces. Whenever we move on to our programming, let's go through a slow roll forward and back, never moving fast, trying to relax and breathe into it. There's 2, we're doing this 4 times. There's 3, 1 more is 4. Now for our second motion, I'm going to position my Nano right behind those toe joints. I like to set my heel on the ground to increase a little bit of tension there. If it's too much for you, you can leave your heel up. So with my heel on the ground, I'm now going to pull those tissue through, so do a little pin and stretch here by raising the toes as high as I can. There's 1, 2, 3, and 1 more is 4. Now to move to zone 2, I'm simply going to step my foot over. I'm going to roll my foot in. Again, I can apply pressure. I'm not pushing in here. I'm not going to rupture anything in the knee. Just a little bit of pressure here, so I'm getting the inside of the foot. I would go back through the process of finding a tender spot. You're more likely to find tenderness here in zone 2. And then we would go through the rolling and then the toe extensions. To move to zone 3, I would simply step my foot over. I'm going to get a little bit of external rotation there to get on that outside part of the foot, and then go back through the programming. So that's how we would address the foot. Remember the 3 zones. Also remember to roll slowly. It's very common for people to get on this and try to roll this quickly as they can. That may play a small role in reducing some tenderness, but it's not a way to actually try to change that tissue and reintroduce that proper foot mobility. So give it a shot. I hope you enjoy it, and thanks for rolling with us.